Hi, I'm Katherine Maloney, and this is a guide to planning a properly sequenced intermediate modern dance class. The process of placing exercises in a sensible sequence begins by listening to the intuitive wisdom of the body. When a class is sequenced effectively, the dancer's body is ready for each new exercise in the sequence, and a flow develops, warming the body and enabling it to jump higher and breathe deeper. In this video, we will explore how to strategically plan the sequencing of a modern dance class in regards to safe anatomical practices and interlacing goals within the class structure. When planning a class, a teacher should designate a movement concept or principle for which will be the basis for each exercise. And through each exercise, the students will further explore that concept. Now that you have decided on a concept, begin by choreographing the final movement combination that embodies the concept you choose to focus on for that class. The final combo should push the dancer to translate, explore, and investigate that concept in a multitude of ways. The final movement combination should be the most physically demanding and mentally demanding part of the class. Now that you've choreographed the final combination, you know what the dancer will need to be prepared to do by the final quarter of class time. So you can start planning what will be the beginning of class, and each exercise thereafter should increase in complexity and energy level. Warm-up and early work exercises are key to setting the tone for class and introducing the concept right away. For the concept I chose, focusing on moving in and out of the floor, I have decided to create a walking warm-up that introduces interacting with the floor homologously and gently putting weight into my hands to prepare for inversions in later combos. For the second warm-up or early work exercise, I have planned X rolls and C curves to warm up the core and introduce distal initiation homologously and getting the body and the backside comfortable rolling and moving against the floor. Warm-up and early work exercises should gently wake up each major muscle group at a moderate tempo. Sharp and harsh movements should be avoided at the beginning of class. For the third exercise, considered as the final early work exercise, I am focusing on warming up the feet and legs and articulating through the feet, and pressing in and out of the floor doing tendus, pliés, and dégagés. So now we are moving on to deep work exercises, which aim to activate small intrinsic muscles, and the dancer must be warm through the first three exercises in order to do so properly. In deep work, you can begin to raise tempo, incorporate full extensions, fast footwork, and deep stretches. Deep work can integrate stylistic variations and present movement to be elaborated on or sped up for the final combinations. Using the entire space and going across the floor is a great way to get dancers fully warm and heart rates elevated as they push themselves in the deep work exercises. Both of these deep work exercises pull movement straight from the final movement combination that we started with when we began planning this class. After dancers complete the final movement combination, their blood should be circulating very quickly through the body, which is why a proper cool down is important to protect the dancers' bodies and prevent blood from pooling in the muscles, which causes soreness and cramping the following day. For this example, I designed a walking cool down that is reminiscent of some of the phrase work done throughout class to explore moving in and out of the floor, and stretches the major muscle groups we used without letting the head drop below the heart. A cool down is an effective time for dancers to reflect on the movement principles covered in class and to center oneself before leaving the studio and going back into the world. Now that you have observed my method for designing a well-sequenced modern dance class, you can follow this method in order to create your own plan and adapt it to fit your needs within the structure for your specific movement concept and in line with your course curriculum.